I'm a retired Air Force Master Sergeant, Joe Garcia. I enlisted in '73 and retired in '99. Been all over the world, had a great time, would do it all over again in a heartbeat. I had a grandfather who came from Mexico. He was a Mexican citizen, and he came to this country and he said, look at what you can do here. Look at what this country offers. And so my grandfather did it the right way. He became a naturalized citizen. He went to work for the government, went to work for the Postal Service. And he taught me, he told me, this is a great country. But it will only stay great as long as people stand up to support it. And he said, I want one person from every generation henceforth to serve this country in some way or some fashion. My dad joined the Air Force. He served 27 years. I followed his footsteps. I served 25 years. My son is retiring in June. He will have served 23 years. His son, my first grandson, joined the Marines. And our tradition continues. I joined the Air Force because I liked what I perceived my father did. He made a difference. He got to do some pretty unique things in some pretty unique places. And I said, that's cool. I want to do that. So I graduated from high school. I took a year trying to, find jobs and do things. And I didn't find anything that satisfied me, that gave me that feeling of satisfaction. And that little nagging thing in the back of my head said, why aren't you following Dad's footsteps? And so I did. I chose to follow my dad's footsteps. I was very fortunate and got to choose the career field that he was in. And it was pretty eye-opening to go to bases where the senior people, my dad had trained as juniors, and now they were teaching his son. And that really made an impact to me. My dad was a real force in my upbringing, and being taught things at a very early age and not realizing how important those lessons are going to be as you grow older in life. If you're going to do something, do it right the first time so that you don't have to come back and do it again. I'm a logistician by trade, and I can't tell you how much time I spend trying to, remind people rework is costly and it's time consuming, and you don't want to go back and keep doing the same thing over and over again. So do it right the first time. And that was taught to me by my father. My career field wasn't in combat. I'm Air Force. We load the airplanes. We send the guys who fight to where they have to go. And that was my job. I got to spend 3 years in Tokyo, Japan. Had a daughter born there. And the Japanese are just smitten with America and our culture. They love it. They dress it. They want to live it. They want to breathe it. They want to mimic it in more ways than you can imagine. and I lived here. I grew up here. I am an American. And that makes a difference. I can honestly say I probably had 8 different duty locations in my 25 years. And I'd go back to any of them. I had no traumatic experiences. Some of my fellow veterans aren't so fortunate. They experienced things, they saw things, they participated in things that change a man's life, a person's life. Because not all those veterans were men. It can be a very traumatic lifestyle. I'm pretty fortunate I didn't experience that. For the first 6 years, I was in air transportation. So the typical day is you come in and you're doing shift work. It's a 3-shift deal. So depending on what shift you're working, if you're working a day shift, that's when all the visibility and the administrative things happen. So you're doing your job, and then you're kind of filling answers in for other people so that they can do their job. If you're on the other shifts, it's all about, doing your job, getting your hands dirty. For us, it was warehousing and transportation and building pallets and loading airplanes and being on that front line. Walking out in the morning and smelling the fuel and listening to the aircraft. And guys will tell you they miss that. They miss that terribly. I'm proud to say I served. I'm proud to say I'm following that grandfather's edict. One person shall give back from every generation. My dad did it. I served. My son served. Both of his sons are currently serving. And I have no doubt when those grandsons have family, they too will have somebody serving. And it comes back to leadership. We have to lead by example. We have to show them why it's important. And when you do that, they're paying attention. They're listening. And the end result is somebody is watching out and taking care of our country. We can't do it anymore. Us old guys, we'd go back in a heartbeat. But we need the young people to help us grow and learn and modernize and stay on top. I know the military isn't for everybody, but I strongly recommend it because, especially as a young person today, you might think you know what you want, but you haven't experienced anything. So join the military, let it take you places and do things so that you can learn. The worst that can happen is you come out of a military enlistment, you now understand work ethic, you now understand punctuality, you understand trust. I have many friends who have their own businesses, and they say one of the hardest thing to find is a young person with work ethic. They want a job, and they want you to pay them extremely well, but they don't want to work. The military will teach you how to work. The military will teach you self-sufficiency, independence, how to be a young person and stand on your own two legs, and then help you make decisions. I'm not saying everybody has to stay for a military career. Come in, spend 2 years, spend 4 years. If you like it, stay. If you don't like it, get out and use what you've learned, because it's going to help you. I never considered anything else. But those grandkids said, I'm going to serve. And I said, good. I support you. I'm very proud of you. I don't want you to be disappointed in me, but I want to join the Marines. And my response was, good, go do it. Be the best damn Marine you can be. Papa, I want to join, but I want to join the Army. Great. Go be the best soldier you can be. Serve our country. Be proud. Do something. I have a house full of young kids in my house. We took them to Florida a couple of years ago. And I explained at the end of the duty day, they play taps. And I have a picture. The kids are on the balcony. And they're watching their watch. It's almost time, it's almost time. And they rush out to the balcony so they can listen to taps. And they have their hands raised in salute. And that's pretty impressive. Because those kids are honoring us as veterans. One of my favorite pictures is one of the granddaughters standing by my side in uniform. And she's looking up at me, and she's hugging me. And I'm looking down at her, and there's that connection. It's very magic connection. It's a very powerful connection. When Elise said, I would like for you to come represent the organization, I had to stop and think for a minute, because all the people that I've seen before, the Marines, the other service people, those are people that have gone out there and done the fighting. They've been out there and been in hot, dirty, nasty, cold, freezing, raining places, doing things that, people don't want to do. But they step up and do them because somebody has to. And they do. And so when Elise said, hey, I'd like for you to be our representative, and I'm going, I'm not really sure that I deserve this, because there are people, very wonderful people, who will never stand up because they don't like being flashy, they don't like being in the public eye. They just want to be in the background. They just want to do their job for their country. And they're happy with that. So this is truly an honor, and it's pretty moving to me. My friends, we live in a wonderful country. Our country is going through some turmoil right now. It's a tough time. And I'm not just talking about COVID. You know, people are very, very fond of their politics. And I have mine too. But I tell people, you know, you have to be an American first. My politics come second. You aren't always happy with who gets elected. That's okay. Be patient. Time comes around and that too shall change. Be an American. Always be an American. Always stand up for what's right. And it will come back and pay you dividends.